I'm James Parker, and this is Florida Story. Hey, thank you. Thank you so much. Welcome to Florida Stories. All right, for this first one, we are going to go to God's house in Panama City Beach, where a Georgia man broke into a Panama City Beach church. And look, this was fueled by meth. I'll cut to the chase here. But it's Emerald Beach Church of God. And he goes in, and it starts off okay. He goes in and he actually baptizes himself. That's right. He baptizes himself, which this is great because he's about to commit a few sins after that. I have the breakdown here from WFLA.
He allegedly used a cinder block to smash a window, which alerted a church employee who fled. Authorities say that Porter caused about $8,000 in damage, took some electronic equipment and the church money back. Deputies, Panama City Beach Police, and canine units descended on the church and arrested Porter. They say he had meth and paraphernalia. Porter supposedly claimed that he could not remember what happened inside of the church, at least not most of it, but he did say he remembered baptizing himself in the church's baptism pool, and he claimed something was holding his head under the water.
All right, thank you to WFLA for that report, but you hear the splashing in the background while the anchor was talking. The police dog had jumped into the baptismal pool, which, you know, as a Christian, the second that little meth head jumped in there, if he really meant it, if he really was baptizing himself in the name of Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, then, you know, a soul has been saved. But on top of that, a dog soul has been saved.
Wait,
hold my beer.
What?
Hold my beer.
Hold my beer.
What is it? For our next Florida story, we are going to go into some woods just north of Orlando. And what's going on here? They're coming across some wildlife encounters. And you hear about these all the time on Florida Stories. Is it an alligator? No. Is it one of those giant Burmese/Indian pythons? No. This is a cute one. This one's monkeys. Everyone loves monkeys. But this is weird because now Florida has wild monkeys. Wild monkeys. Yeah, there's that pack that lives next to the Fort Lauderdale airport, but they're kind of confined into an area. But what you're going to learn today is there's actually two populations of monkeys that live in the wild in Florida and are reproducing. And so one of them is this one. It's the rhesus monkey pack that is north of Orlando and shows up in various suburbs and subdivisions and, you know, people's backyards. And these things, they're cute, but they're really stained in your memory if you've seen the movie Outbreak, because this is the guy. I mean, he looks adorable. They're not that big, but I mean, that cute face, that's what killed Kevin Spacey's character in Outbreak. You know, so these guys are no joke, and they have the scary pandemic assigned to them. Fair or not, they still scare the hell out of you. The other one is what's called a vervet monkey. You may not be familiar with vervet monkeys, but in actuality, vervet monkeys are very commonly used in science because they are very much like humans, and not just their genetics, but also their behaviors. These little cute guys over here, they experience a lot of the same things that human beings do that other animals don't, like hypertension. These animals can worry too much and give themselves high blood pressure. They have anxiety issues, and they also can develop alcohol dependency. They can be drunks if they're very human. So some of these either were intentionally released or got out from a research facility, and now there's also vervet monkeys, which they're cute and haven't caused a massive pandemic that killed Kevin Spacey yet. So we still like those guys. I think. Hold my beer.
Wait,
Hold my beer.
what?
Hold my beer.
Hold my beer. What is it?
For our next Florida story, we're going to Castleberry, Florida, where in this horrible tale, this is a tough one. What we have is a 22-year-old Florida man who's fallen on hard times, and so he needs a place to stay, and his aunt lets him crash. I mean, his aunt is also married, and they have 4 kids, and they live in an apartment that's not very big, but they'll make room for him. And as they're kind of setting down the rules, the nephew has a gun that becomes of issue. Are you going to keep that gun in this house? Yes, I'm going to keep this gun in my house. Well, what safety precautions are you going to take? And the uncle didn't feel that was adequate. 41-year-old uncle says, listen, you can't have that in my house. We have too many kids. This is too small of a place. And if you're not going to disassemble it like I want to, you can't have it in here at all. So in order to cool things off, uncle goes outside and smokes a Black and Mild on the patio. A few minutes later, 22-year-old Florida man nephew comes and joins him. Somehow the argument escalates, and a 22-year-old Florida man shoots and kills his uncle. And this is the kicker. This is in a heated argument over gun safety, allegedly, reportedly, whatever. But that just seems beyond brutal irony. That's kind of funny, and it's also just kind of you've heard of all kinds of ways people have murdered loved ones, family members, and some of it's been a jealousy over an inheritance or someone's ex-wife or someone got disrespected in many ways, but over gun safety. Gun safety. You've never heard that before. Hold my beer.
Hold my beer. Hold my beer. Hold my beer. What is this?
We're going to the fringes in Hillsborough County outside the University of Southern Florida. So USF and our Florida man, our Florida doctoral candidate, lives in an apartment. Humble. He's trying to make it through his last year of PhD school when a new family moves upstairs. Abdullah and crew make a lot of noise. So our chemistry doctoral thesis pursuer Florida man makes a lot of complaints, calls the cops, calls the apartment people, calls campus security. When Abdullah's out of town, he asked a friend to stop by the apartment to check to see a package had been delivered, and the whole place reeked. It smelled like some sort of chemical gas attack. Her skin was irritated. He said, get out of there. And so they had to clean the whole place up and steam the carpets, and a couple months later, it happens again. Abdullah and his family come home, and their eyes start to burn, and their skin's itchy, and they call the cops, and the cops get their skin irritated as well. And so they set up a camera, and sure enough, our chemistry student here, our budding Dr. Walter White wannabe, is using this big syringe to insert some chemical gas attack that they think with preliminary testing might be methadone and hydrocodone, which actually I thought people like to do that stuff, but I don't know anything about chemistry. So this guy, so your upstairs neighbor makes some noise. Do you really have to do a chemical gas attack? What are you, Saddam Hussein now? Are you Bashar al-Assad? You want to be Walter White? I think someone's a little bit psycho.
Hold my beer. Hold my beer. Hold my beer. What is this?
Florida Stories is produced by Spring Rock. Follow me on Twitter at Florida Stories J. I'm James Parker, and this is Florida Stories. Here's the deal. You suck at buying gifts. That's okay. I do too, but I figured out a secret. I'm going to pass it along to you. It's called Symmetry Jewelers. That's what women want. They don't want anything practical. They don't want tools. They don't want something useful. And not just any jewels. They don't want you to go to some national chain like a Zales or a Kay or a Jared. Symmetry Jewelers makes art. Stop buying sucky gifts. Go to symmetryjewelers.com. Use promo code JAMES for 10% off right off the top. I get a little commission too. Your girl's happy. Everybody wins. Symmetry.